Hello. It's absolute pleasure to be here doing a little testimonial because my testimonial is amazing. I, um, I've been in my spiritual process all of my life. Since I'm 14, I had an awakening experience, and since then, I've always meditated, lived in ashrams, pretty ascetic life, left the world. Uh, I thought I was doing everything right. And in the last few years, so I had sort of hit a ceiling, and at the same, so spiritually or something. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I started getting sick. And as I was getting sick, I really was feeling really terrible. My heart was out of whack. My nervous system was out of whack. I couldn't sleep. I was getting more and more depressed about life and about myself. I didn't, even though I knew that I have a spiritual purpose here on earth, I still found myself in an extremely depressive state. Well, I go to the doctor and I have a heart valve that needs to get changed. They tell me that I need to have heart surgery to change my valve and put a pig's valve or a metal valve. I said, absolutely, I am not doing that. Then I get diagnosed with lupus and Lyme's disease. Right at that moment, I'm sitting on my bed one day, just really asking for help, because at one point I really thought, well, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm supposed to leave this space-time continuum and continue in other things. Maybe I'm done. Maybe my work is done here. Because I really didn't want to get a heart surgery. I didn't want to do all these invasive things. And I thought maybe I should just let go and go. So I was really at the point of considering that I was dying. I mean, I hadn't slept in months. I would sleep for like 10 minutes, and then suddenly my whole nervous system was so out of whack that I would just jump anything. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even think. I got to a point in which I couldn't think clearly either. I couldn't string thoughts together. I couldn't plan. My work was suffering. Everything was suffering from it. I couldn't travel anymore, which I love to travel. Well, uh, was sitting in bed and I really prayed. I prayed for some guidance, and I kind of got, because I could tell that what was off was my nervous system. My nervous system was so out of whack. It was that buzz, that wired but tired feeling. So my nervous system was so out of whack that I just really got that I needed to communicate with my cells. That's the only way I can describe it. That I had to communicate with my cells, but I didn't know how. Even though I knew how to meditate and transcend myself, uh, although, mind you, I have to say, for months I hadn't been able to get over my mind, my chatter or anything, because of so much imbalance was happening, and I really didn't know how to address it. I couldn't even address it at the spiritual level. So I got this thing of like, okay, I need to communicate with my cells. So the next thing I know, I'm on my laptop in bed, and there's Dr. Joe Dispenzas. I remembered him from What the Bleep. I don't know how I got to his website or what it is, or whether I got an email about him. I don't know. There was a workshop right that weekend. Everything lined up. I did the workshop. There started my amazing adventure of recovery, an amazing adventure of transformation and transmutation of myself. Because I have to say, a year later, it's not a year later, now it's 2 years, I think, later, but a year later, I was completely symptomless. I took this work to heart, and I really started working on it, on myself, really every day. Sometimes I would spend hours doing the meditations, one after the other. And the idea really, what I really got very serious about is like how it is that I'm feeling, what are the thoughts that I'm thinking, and how do I behave when I feel that way. I wasn't even so focusing on trying to heal my disease. I knew that I had to get over myself. Somehow it was my identity that had created that disease. So I just started practicing. I started practicing. I did it religiously. I did it all the time. I immediately, just the first weekend, I have to say that just the first weekend, I felt completely different. So I have to, now it's been a couple of years later, I've been following the work. Amazing changes have happened to me, miracles after miracles after miracles. But the biggest miracle is that I have to say, I'm completely a different person than I was when I got sick. The person that got sick is not the person that is sitting here. I'm a different one.